2009. I'm finding this half marathon really hard. I'm hardly fit enough. As I finish my first half and I settle back down from that amazing buzz that you get, I'm completely overwhelmed. No part of me can even comprehend completing that again to do the full marathon, let alone getting into triathlon and one day becoming an Ironman. I mean, imagine it. Doing double that. Before it, though, you're going to swim 2.4 miles and you're going to ride 112 miles on a bike. I don't think so. Hello and welcome to the Man To Ironman Coach Marshy running podcast. I am Neil Marsh, Coach Marshy, and I am hoping you are well today and your training is going really, really well. Quick disclaimer before we start. With my sports and exercise science background, I would like to think that everything we talk about today comes from a place of good and of education that can hopefully help you. So, what am I talking about there? So, let's talk about it. More than likely, the end goal of what it is that you want to achieve can seem a million miles away. And yet the truth is, since that intro just there, I've gone on and completed, since that 2009 half marathon and the second in 2010, which by the way was much harder. But since then, I've gone on and completed those goals that were massively a million miles away at the time. So I've not only completed those goals, but since then I've built on that and moved on. And at the point of recording of this episode, the furthest to date is a 70-mile ultra marathon. So it is achievable, but it just seemed so far away at the time, right? And I always ask the question when I'm working with clients or when I'm looking at my own new future goals, what made me feel the way I did when I finished that first half marathon in 2009 and again in 2010? What was it that made me feel that way? What was it? And there were three things standing in my way. And I'd say these three things come up time and time again working with clients. I'm sure there'll be many more, but three things. And the first thing that was holding me back from achieving my goals was the complete overwhelm. So overwhelm. The end goal was so far away from what it was that I was doing that I just couldn't feel that I could do it. And the overwhelm was just there. It just got in the way. And overwhelm can be really paralyzing. And it certainly was for me. The idea of becoming an Ironman was just completely overwhelming. The second thing that was holding me back was that fear of success. Now, I couldn't ever imagine me achieving a goal back then that would be as big as Ironman, an ultra marathon. I just couldn't imagine that big goal and actually sticking to something, and no matter what it took, I was going to stick to it and do it. And I just couldn't see that, but I did. I went on and did it. So, but it was that fear of success, the fear of actually doing it and successfully doing it that really got in my way. And then the third thing, the fear of change. Oh boy, was this confronting for me. And it'll be confronting for many people. It's a really confronting thing and something that you have to think about, and it's hard to accept. But things that I thought were important, we're going to have to give. And the same with people as well. It was just going to have to give if I wanted to achieve those goals. But that fear of change and losing it was something that really stood in my way. And the truth is, the answer to achieving anything in life, not just in sports or not in fitness goals, but in anything, is by taking small steps and taking small, consistent steps along the way. Now, lots of little things done well, over and over, day after day, week after week, lead to big things. Yeah. We know. We've heard it before. We've heard it on YouTube. We've heard it on podcasts. We've heard your coach say it. Lots of little things done well, over and over again, lead to big things. One brick at a time builds a house, etc. Okay, yeah, great. So what was it? What was the mechanism, the method that was used to overcome that overwhelm, that fear of success, that fear of change? What was the mechanism and the methods which actually worked for me? What were the things I did to actually make a difference? And that's the key part here. The things that you implement to get rid of those things that are holding you back. Some people that have influenced me refer to these as the shackles. What is it that is holding you back? And more importantly, when you've identified it, what is the method and the mechanism to deal with that? And for me, there were 3 simple things which I did to get rid of the 3 things that were massively holding me back. So the first thing was encourage the positive influences and remove the negative influences. So people, you can't live with them and you can't live without them. How true is that statement? 100% for me in my experience. You know, there are some people that no matter the water under the bridge and the history that you've got with them, and it'll be such a shame to say goodbye to them. I know. But you got to get rid of them. Get out. Because they are just too much of a negative influence on you and they bring you down. So you got to remove the negative influences. But the positive influences, the people that lift you up, the people that want you to succeed, the people that allow you to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve on a daily basis, those small steps, that consistency, the people that allow that. Why on earth are you not spending as much time as possible with those people? We should be, right? So the first thing, encourage the positive influences and remove the negative influences. The second thing, to remove those things that are holding you back, don't fear the unknown. See the process of small steps and consistency as a journey. This is something that I've massively done. You know, an adventure of all these great opportunities that are going to come to you. So let me tell you, so far, this attitude hasn't disappointed one little bit. Places you would never go and that you would never get to see, thanks to the event location. Holidays, seeing things and the place that you're in from that different perspective of running, because I was training while I was on holiday. Loved it. Still love it. So don't fear the unknown. And the third thing, to get rid of those things that are holding you back, find your interest and look to see how you can manage that around your life. Okay? And how are you going to manage it around your lifestyle? So I think where I'm at in my life right now, where I am, world pandemic and all that, that's all around us. I've had to use this. I've had to use this third one again very recently, and it's working again. It worked back then in 2010, and now it's working again. So let me challenge you on this third point. If you're passionate about the outcome, everything else will fit around it. Now, I'm not talking about over your family or over your work I'm not talking about that. I'm referring to the things you do in your spare time. And the truth is, you need to do this first. Whatever it is you need to do to achieve your goals, you need that to become the first thing you do after you've done those normal day-to-day things and being a family person. This needs to be the first thing that you go and do. Otherwise, I need you to question whether you really want it. Because if you're more interested in going to the pub every single time, which every single person can do at any point, granted, perhaps not recent times, but you know what I mean, then if you're not willing to give that up twice a week so that you can train, how important really is it? Because you can still go on Saturday, you can still go and see your friends, you can still be sociable, but how bad do you really want it? And that third point's really important. So all of these things, the 3 things that are standing in your way and holding you back, and the 3 things that you can put in place as a mechanism and a method for you to really make a difference, they come down to this. And this is what I did back then. It comes down to making a choice, making a decision, and believe in your decision and embrace that decision. Those 3 things for me were crucial. And it was like a flow chart. So you got the 3 barriers, you got the 3 methods. And then within those 3 methods, you need to make that choice, make a decision, believe in your decision, and embrace it. The small steps and consistency were based and very much still based around those 3 ways to get past the things that are holding you back. So, you know what I say? I say to you, go for it. Give it a go. You might just surprise yourself like I did. I was completely surprised when I started to tick off those things and achieve the next thing and the next thing. Go and do it. Get in contact with me, because I believe in anyone if they're willing to do what it takes to get there. I believe in you 100%. And I want you to get in contact. I want you to tell me about your journey and progression. I might even invite you on here one day to discuss it. It'd be great to do that. And I would love to hear about your journey and your story as well. Go and implement these things. So just to recap those 3 things, really simple. Let's put it into 4 bullet points for you to remember. So you can write these down. Look at the influences around you and remove and attract the right ones. Don't fear the unknown. Find your interest and make it work around your life. Then make the choice, make the decision, and believe in it and embrace it. Let's do those things together. Let's go out there and achieve our goals. So, hopefully you found that useful, explaining my own kind of passion around that and what changed it for me and the things that worked for me. And if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give us a review on whichever platform you're listening on. And if you want to look more into your running, please head over to the YouTube channel for running tips and how-to advice on your training and your running and the process for strength and conditioning around it. Please don't forget to pass this on to anyone you think that could do with hearing what it is we're talking about on here, or you think might just enjoy it while they're out for their run or while they're doing their training with headphones in. So I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope we can meet here again next week to discuss more on the Fat Man to Ironman Coach Marshy running podcast.